Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Let's start it over.
Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Batman.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you. What's the deal with post-apocalypse? It's like the apocalypse with the after. I mean, like, you got all this stuff. We got books and movies and shows and video games and every goddamn thing. I don't know, probably porn. Of the stuff where it's like post-apocalyptic. It happened after the apocalypse and we're kind of rebuilding humanity or some shit like that. I don't know. And everything is all crazy and weird and different because of the circumstances that were created by some apocalypse that happened before that maybe you see one scene of or you hear about in passing or something. Or is, you're trying to kind of figure it out as a thing the whole time. I don't know. And you hear about that all the time, and it's always a big thing, like, that's a point of interest, that's a trait, that's a detail. You don't often hear about things that are like, this is apocalyptic. Like, oh, this movie is apocalyptic, it is taking place during the apocalypse, or some sort of apocalypse. You don't often hear something about that, right? I mean, the only example I can think of is my album, The Day the Sun Exploded, a concept album about the day the sun exploded. If you'd like to check that out, you can go ahead and click the annotation on the screen or click the link in the description. You can listen to that and see an example of someone who did that. It was me. I'm a genius. Yes, I've resorted to plugging my own contents within my own video. I'm not ashamed. I'm far past ever feeling something like that anymore over something as silly as this. You won't click on it anyway, so what do I have to lose? Dignity? I have none. Point is, you don't really hear a whole lot about the apocalypse itself. A lot of stuff is just post-apocalyptic. And for that matter, you ever hear about anything that's pre-apocalyptic? You don't ever hear that. I mean, like, granted, it's not, like, necessarily super important. Like, this is all the stuff that happened before the apocalypse. Unless it's something that's leading up to the apocalypse. But, isn't any movie where the apocalypse doesn't happen pre-apocalyptic? I guess that does assume that an apocalypse does happen, but are we to assume that it shouldn't happen if it's not called pre-apocalyptic? That at no point in this universe an apocalypse happens, and therefore, would you then, if you tried to put an apocalypse in later, would that then be, go against the canon of the series of the movie or books or shows or whatever? I don't know. These are not things that are for me to decide. These are things for the world to decide. And, also what happens if you're both, post-apocalyptic and pre-apocalyptic? What if another apocalypse is going to happen after you've already, been through one apocalypse and another one's happening? What if there's a double apocalypse? Is that a thing? Has there ever been a double apocalypse? Where, like, I don't know, aliens invade and shit and they're taking over and then all of a sudden the weird wormhole thing opens up and everyone dies. And stuff. I don't know. Is that a thing that can happen? Or is it all can be considered one gigantic apocalypse because it happened at the same time? Greater minds than I should be answering these questions. And I believe that anyone watching this is exactly that qualified as a greater mind than I. So leave your opinions about that in the comments. And, you can check out the thing I said to check out, but you won't. My voice is in it, so why would you? I wouldn't. Well, I might. I probably would. I already have. I'm doing it right now, actually, so... do you want to be like me? What's the deal with post-apocalypse? It's like pre-apocalypse, with the after.
What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam?